selfish and pathetic. She deserves so much more than you. I pity that girl and your atrocious behavior. God rest Luna's poor, tortured soul.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoons Delight. Coming back with y'all on this one, man. So Lee and Poppy have a conversation privately after Poppy, as you know, said she was glad that Luna is dead, and basically Lee was just basically pitying Luna, and she really, continued just straight from a couple of episodes ago, blaming Poppy for being a bad mother and all that other stuff. And she was really good, man. I mean, she was ashamed to share a last name with her sister. She was going in on Poppy ass, talking about she's a pill popping sex addict. I mean, Lee was just going in, man. Lee was going in, bro. Lee was going in on Poppy, man. And I think there's a little bit of a difference between Lee and Steffi, right? Like they're both very critical of other people, right? But I think the one thing about Lee, though, that I'm noticing is that I'm liking how Lee is being more supportive of Luna, right? Whereas it seems like with Steffi, she ain't got no room for any kind of pity. No room for any kind of pity. And that to me, that's an unhuman characteristic. At least I feel like Lee's being somewhat of a fucking human. Right? Like, it feel like Steffi is this critical robot, bro. Like, she ain't got no feelings for nobody. Like, I'm like, this month, we gonna get on Steffi when we get the bill. I'm not gonna try to go into a rant on Steffi in this video, man. But like I said, Lee was getting on Poppy, and cause Poppy was like, she felt like this girl was killing people and all this other stuff, and so she's glad she's out of the picture and all this, and but Lee sees that Luna could have been helped if someone would have got to her a lot sooner, and all this other stuff. Poppy was trying to say, what if Luna had hurt Kelly or Hayes or whatever, and then Lee had said she deserved much more than you. I pity the girl, and she hisses, God rest Luna's poor tortured soul. You know what I'm saying? That was the end of their conversation at least in this episode. So let's start with my feelings on Poppy here. I think Poppy, to me, is a god awful person, is a god awful mother. She is the reason why Luna turned out the way she did. There's no doubt about that. I think for me, I lost a lot of respect for Poppy. I just lost a lot of respect for her. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, she was your child, and really, you need to, if anything, I don't think you say what you say, Poppy. You should have been blaming yourself for the way she turned out. You should have been, like, blaming yourself. That's what I liked about what Bill did. Bill recognized the fact that he wasn't the best father to Liam, right? So he blamed himself, right? That's what the hell Poppy was supposed to have been doing. Poppy, you were supposed to have been just blaming yourself for the bad job you did to Luna. That, like, bro, you gotta realize when you're a parent, bro, your child, even though your child is going to do their own things, they got a mind of their own in this fucking world, right? They're going to do whatever they do. I don't put 100% on the way a child turns out on the parent, but I do blame a lot of it on the parent when the kid turns out the way they did. And I think in this situation, at least, I'm putting the blame on Pop. You know what I'm saying? Because I do feel like if Lee had raised Luna, she turned out a lot more different. I do believe that. But even if, I can also say Lee could have turned. I mean, Luna could have still turned out to be a killer, even if Lee raised her the right way. But I'll probably be blaming Lee less if I saw that Lee was doing the right things as a parent. You know, you can only do so much with a child, right? You can only do so much. But I feel like Poppy didn't really put in a lot of effort with Luna, and that's the difference between, to me, with Lee and Poppy as parents. Because I know Lee would at least put in the effort. You know what I'm saying? No matter how Luna would have turned out. Because Luna does have Sheila blood in her, so there was going to be a possibility she was going to turn out bad anyways. But now, let's talk about this scenario that we talked about yesterday, right? Oh, let me talk about Luna real quick, and then we'll talk about this scenario. So, with Lee, I got a lot more respect for Lee, respecting, recognizing the fact that Luna could have been a different person. I do like the fact that Lee didn't, fully abandon Luna either. You know what I'm saying? Because even Sheila, I know Sheila's crazy her damn self, but like even Sheila was the same way. Sheila recognized, like, look, we could have did things differently, and we, at the end of the day, that's Sheila's granddaughter and that's Lee's granddaughter as well. So we could have still, right, had a little bit more pity and compassion for Luna, right? Poppy didn't decide to do that. But let's talk about this scenario, because I don't think that this is wrapped up. So we know where this storyline is going. We know that Lee is about to do the same thing that she did with Finn after he got shot by Sheila. She's going to take care of her home and have her recover. Because I think there was a spoiler out there that Luna's going to return in the fall, either as her twin sister, or just the Luna that we've been seeing. One or the other. I don't know how it's going to turn out. And then with Poppy, not Poppy. Then with Poppy, the other scenario, my bad. With the other scenario that we've been talking about, see, this is what I really want to know. Can we rule out that Poppy was faking, that this was all an act? Because they did talk in private and it did sound like Poppy knows she's dead, or that she's in on it, that they put on the act yesterday. Did Poppy really mean what she said? Now that they talked in private, it's got me thinking that maybe Poppy ain't a part of this, but you never know. I think I'm gonna just tuck that as something that's still a possibility, right? I'm gonna just tuck it as it's something that's still a possibility. But y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all still believe that possibly this is all an act. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. But give me your thoughts here. We're gonna talk about Bill next. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Give this video a like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching this one. Afternoons to light.